Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss two previous year questions of the society section of the GS paper 1 mains. A disclaimer first that whether a qualified candidate, a topper or someone who is aspiring for the civil services, there lies subjectivity on the interpretation part of the question and how a person writes that answer. So if you think that there is a scope of improvement, you can suggest in the comment section, and I request you to at least give remarks and let me know whether you were able to take help from this video or not. So let's start the video. First question: why is caste identity in India both fluid and static? So in introduction part, we will define the term caste itself. That caste is a system of social stratification based on the principles of purity and pollution. Now a linking statement to our question, that due to the modern value system and progressive changes such as industrialization and urbanization, there has been changes in the caste identity. That means we are showing examiner that we have not forgotten the question, and we are up to the mark in our answers. So next comes the body part. We have to discuss how caste identity is fluid and how caste identity is static as well. Starting from the first part, how caste identity is fluid. First, industrialization. We know that caste neutral job opportunities are there due to industrialization. Hence, division of labor based on caste is getting diluted. Next, urbanization is leading to the secular pattern of living based on anonymity and heterogeneity. As urban societies में, urban areas में, doesn't matter a person comes from which caste, what matters is his or her skills and knowledge. Next, modern value system. Modern value system questions the concept of purity and pollution itself. For example, people getting identified through secular hierarchy instead of caste-based hierarchy. One is intercaste marriage. Next, Sanskritization. Sanskritization concept में what happens is lower caste follows the lifestyle and customs of upper caste to improve their ritual hierarchy or status. Secularization of caste by formation of caste-based political association, for example, is BSP, political party. Now we will show how caste identity is static. अब फर्स्ट पार्ट में हमने देखा कि हाउ कास्ट आइडेंटिटी इज फ्लूइड. इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन की वजह से कास्ट न्यूट्रल जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज हो रही है और डिवीजन ऑफ लेबर विच यूज्ड टू बी बेस्ड ऑन कास्ट इज गेटिंग डाइल्यूटेड. अर्बनाइजेशन की वजह से सेक्युलर पैटर्न ऑफ लिविंग आ रहा है सोसाइटी में एंड देयर इज इंक्रीज्ड अनोनिमिटी एंड हेट्रोजेनिटी. मॉडर्न वैल्यू सिस्टम की वजह से जो प्योरिटी एंड पोल्यूशन का कंसेप्ट था दैट इज बीइंग क्वेश्चन. Example of that is intercaste marriage, and people are getting identified through the secular hierarchy instead of caste-based hierarchy. Sanskritization में what's happening is lower caste following the lifestyle and customs of upper caste to improve their ritual hierarchy. Secularization of caste by the formation of caste-based political association. This is how caste identity is fluid. Now we will show how caste identity is static. Firstly, hierarchy. For example, Brahmins are still accepted as having higher status, if not in urban areas, then in rural areas. Ascriptive nature. Caste is ascribed by birth and remains part of one's identity throughout life. Next, occupational division of labor. Caste identity still influences the choice of occupation in the Indian society. For example, majority of sanitation workers being from the lower caste, at least 90% workers are from the lower caste. Next, caste restrictions in terms of dress code, speech, customs are still upheld in the Indian society. For example, prevalence of endogamy, because of which there is rising cases of honor killings in case of intercaste marriages. Then separation of contact, like discriminatory practices still prevalent. For example, parents of upper caste children refusing them to eat food cooked by the Dalit worker in the midday meal schools. अब हमने बताया हाउ कास्ट आइडेंटिटी इज स्टैटिक. हायरार्की है स्टिल प्रोमिनेंट क्योंकि ब्राह्मण्स आर स्टिल एक्सेप्टेड एज हैविंग हायर स्टेटस. एस्क्रिप्टिव नेचर है कास्ट का क्योंकि दैट इज एस्क्राइब्ड एट बर्थ एंड कंटिन्यूज एंड रिमेन्स अनलेस अ पर्सन is alive, is not alive. Next, occupational division of labor. Caste identity still influences the choice of occupation. For example, majority of sanitation workers are lower caste people. Caste restriction in terms of dress code, speech, customs are still upheld. For example, prevalence of endogamy and the rising honor killing in case of the intercaste marriages. Separation of contact like discriminatory practices still prevalent. Untouchability kind of concept. For example, parents of upper caste children refusing them to eat food cooked by the Dalit mother. Lastly, we conclude saying that caste identity is a complex interplay of historical roots and changing norms. While historical basis offers it a static identity, progressive changes contributes in the fluidity of the caste. So this is how we have interlinked the question part as well, and we have shown what we have discussed in our answer part. Let's revise this question once again so that you are able to comprehend it in a better way. So this question came in the 2023 paper and is a 15 marker question. That's why we have to write it on 3 pages. So question is, why is caste identity is both fluid and static? So introduction part mein we defined caste, that caste is a system of social stratification based on the principle of purity and pollution. Then we gave a linking statement that due to the modern value system and progressive changes such as industrialization and urbanization, there has been changes in caste identity. अब इस linking statement का मतलब क्या है? इस statement में you will see I have given a hint to the examiner that what I am going to discuss about in the further body part of the answer, and this is a link to the question as well, that we will talk about the caste identity in this manner. So now comes the body part, that caste identity, how it is fluid. First, industrialization की वजह से caste neutral jobs opportunities are there, hence division of labor based on caste is getting diluted. Next, urbanization is leading to secular pattern of living based on anonymity and heterogeneity. Then modern value system is itself questioning the concept of purity and pollution. Example of that is intercaste marriages. Then Sanskritization, lower caste following the lifestyle and customs of upper caste to improve their ritual hierarchy or status. Then secularization of caste by the formation of caste-based political association. Example of that is BSP. Then how caste identity is static. First, hierarchy. Example, Brahmins are still accepted as having higher status. Ascriptive nature of the caste, that caste is ascribed by birth and remains part of one's identity throughout life. Occupational division of labor still prevalent and still influences the choice of occupation in the Indian society. Example of that is majority of sanitation workers are from the lower caste, at least 90%. Then caste restrictions in terms of dress code, speech and customs are still prevalent in Indian society. Example of that is endogamy, and one more example is that rising honor killings in case of intercaste marriages. Separation of contact and untouchability like discriminatory practices are still prevalent. Example is parents of upper caste children refusing them to eat the food cooked by the Dalit women worker at the midday meal schools. Lastly, we concluded saying that caste identity is a complex interplay of historical roots and changing norms. While historical basis offers it a static identity, progressive changes contributes in the fluidity of the caste. Next comes the second question. Question is, examine the role of gig economy in the process of empowerment of women in India. Firstly, we will define what does we mean by the term gig economy. According to the World Economic Forum, gig economy involves the exchange of labor for money between individual and company via gig platforms. So this is how we define what does this gig economy means. And this introduction part, or we can say this definition, has a validation. Why? Because we have used the World Economic Forum here, and which have given it a authoritative definition. नेक्स्ट, अब एक क्वेश्चन में देयर इज अ कीवर्ड एग्जामिन. एग्जामिन द रोल ऑफ द गिग इकोनॉमी इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ वुमेन इन इंडिया. अब किसी चीज को अगर हम एग्जामिन करते हैं तो हम उसके प्रोस एंड कॉन्स दोनों देखते हैं, एंड उसके बेनिफिट्स के बारे में भी बात करते हैं, दैट हाउ इट इज एम्पावरिंग वुमेन, एंड हम उसके कंसर्न्स के भी बारे में बात करते हैं कि व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस ड्यू टू दिस गिग इकोनॉमी. So this is how we will approach our body part. So first part, gig economy leading women empowerment. First, part-time work and flexible work hours helps women build their career without compromising family roles. For example, 85% women are caregivers at home, and this helps, gig economy or gig work helps them have a better accountability and a better economic prospects. Next, women more employment opportunities. More employment opportunities helps increase female labor force participation rate. Next, development of self identity, thereby increasing or improving the overall status of women in the society. Then paid work. Paid work boosts confidence of the women, giving them the decision-making power in the household. Next, work from home nature of job, which addresses the issues of safety as well as security both. Greater financial freedom by taking the side jobs. For example, is mompreneur during maternity leave. That during maternity leave, many women take up the gig work or gig job, and that is known and defined by a term known as mompreneur. Next, the second part of the body that we will talk about the concerns of the gig economy. First is concept of flexibility, a dark cloud. How it is a dark cloud? That it disrupts the work-life balance and sleep patterns. Digital divide, for example, gig work largely on urban phenomena. Gig work is largely an urban phenomena and not so prominent in the village areas or rural areas. One more thing here can be written as, हम यहाँ पे women का internet penetration और women का internet use यहाँ पे show कर सकते हैं, that only 20% of the women use internet in India. Next, alienation due to the lack of benefits. For example, there are no maternity benefits in gig economy. Next, gender stereotype. For example, safety in case of mobility issues. Most delivery persons are male. Lastly, we concluded saying that, however, despite limitations, gig economy has potential to create gender parity in employment along with increase in female labor force participation rate. So again, we will revise this question once again. So question was, examine the role of gig economy in the process of empowerment of women in India. Firstly, we defined the gig economy. Then we talked how gig economy is leading to the women empowerment, that part-time work and flexible work hours are there. For example, 85% of women are caregivers at home, and gig economy or gig work empowers them by giving them the decision-making autonomy and giving them a financial stability. Next, more employment opportunities. Freelancing jobs की वजह से women have more employment opportunity, and that is also helps increasing female labor force participation rate. Next, development of self-identity, thereby increasing the status of women in the society. Then, paid work of the gig economy boosts the confidence of the women, and give them the decision making power. Work from home nature of job addresses the issues of safety and security of women. Greater financial freedom by taking the side job, for example, mompreneur is a term given to show the work that women get in the gig economy throughout their maternity leave. Now, concerns of the gig economy, that concept of flexibility is a dark cloud. How it is a dark cloud? That it disrupts the work-life balance and the sleep patterns. Digital divide is present क्योंकि gig work is largely an urban phenomena. Alienation due to the lack of benefits as no maternity benefits and no social security. Then gender stereotypes as safety in the case of mobility issues. For example, most delivery men we see, they are males. Lastly, we conclude saying that however, despite limitations, gig economy has potential to create gender parity in the employment along with increase in female labor force participation rate. So I hope you find this video helpful. Please give remarks in the comment section and let me know how much I could help you. So thank you so much.